BiSH are one of those groups who, if you're into Japanese pop or into Japanese rock, you probably have some love for. Complete counterculture, to use that expression, and really embracing a mixture of different styles and things. They're a group who've brought a lot to the music scene, and it's so sad to hear about them breaking up, which means that this review is going to be pretty harsh to do as well, because we're going to be talking about Final Shits by BiSH. Oh, and by the way, hi there and welcome back to Japan. So why is this a hard review to do? Well, no surprise if you've been watching this channel for a while, I'm a big fan of BiSH. In fact, I've regularly sung their praises for their variation and interesting sound and the various things they've done to, like I say, bring pop and rock together. On top of that, I've defended them recently in videos against some complaints that they'd slipped into something of a kentacore sound too often. Kentacore, just in case you don't know, is the writing style of the chief writer of Whack, their basically chief songwriter. And in fact, I was even on NHK singing their praises on my 15 Seconds of Fame. However, when I sat there waiting for the premiere of this video, I was excited. It had an edgy name that, I know they use sweary titles very often, but an edgy name that really made me think that we're going to get something kind of crazy, even a little bit like Non-Tie Up, which is also a kentacore song in a lot of ways. And you know what, when the song started playing, and certainly when it got to the end, I have to ask, honestly, this channel's all about the comments and the discussion, so get in there and tell me what you think. Was there one BiSH fan who went, yeah, this is really what I wanted? Now, this is not to say that Final Shits is a bad song. In fact, it's a pretty decent song, and I will give some constructive comments as well in a moment in regards to this. However, I have to address the fact that it is like a kentacore stereotype in that they've done this song before. Now, a lot of people are going to be saying, hey, well, Howard, as you point out, you've done videos defending the use of kentacore. The problem is this is somewhat of a straw that broke the camel's back situation, in that we're kind of getting to the point where it's like, okay, it was a lot, but now it just seems to be all the time, and furthermore, usually when they do the kentacore sound, it's using a lot of the basic tropes of it, but adding certain variants to give each song character. The biggest problem with Final Shits to me is, with exception to the title, there's no real character. It's like every single bit of the tropes, the chord patterns, the way it's written, the sounds, the use of strings, everything is like if you got someone who was from the outside, like a robot, and said, okay, this is a bunch of kentacore songs, I want you to take them and write the most stereotypical rendition of kentacore. This is what you would get. And that's my problem, is that they've got to the point where they've done so many of these kentacore songs, as singles especially, and now they're not even seeming to add any variation to it. As I say, this is really hard to do because I, like many people, am feeling sad about the fact the band's not going to be with us much longer, and therefore I want them to be producing something really interesting. Again, that's probably another thing, another straw breaking the camel's back. So how do we address this constructively? Well, first things first, I hate to say it, but one thing you could do is take advantage of what basically all girl groups and pop groups can do, which is say the writer is not actually a member of the group, and get a different writer, just for a couple of songs or something, just to add a bit of variation, because unfortunately your current guy kind of sounds like he's running on empty, or at least is just creatively not pushing himself. Optionally, of course, if they want to stay loyal, as you'd expect them to do, and is probably part of the contract, then there are other ways of addressing this. I mean, there's two parts to a song if you're going to stick to a certain sound, which is the production and the writing. Now, in this case, as I said, the problem with Final Shits is that the production and the writing are both stereotypically kentacore. So do what they did before with a couple of songs and keep the kentacore sound, but maybe add some variation in certain places. Like, okay, you want to vary up the writing, keep the same sound, the usual strings, the usual production, but throw in some writing, throw in some different chord patterns, some things that you just wouldn't expect. Just be a little bit experiment. Get like a MIDI sheet and throw some notes at it and see what comes out, see if you like it. Just experiment with that. Or stick to the normal writing style and change the instruments. Really throw in some different instruments that he doesn't usually use. Use a brass band or something, like Aina was doing very recently when she was working with Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra. Do just something to vary it up, and you can still stay safe with certain core elements if you want. That would at least give their songs a fresh sound like they've had up until this point, and like they really want to. And this is also important because, like I say, whether it's going with a different writer or just varying things up, they're running out of time to produce more songs, so they might as well keep them as interesting as possible. And the last thing you want them to do at the moment is play safe. So in final analysis, Final Shits is a little bit of a strange song, something of an anomaly. It's a great song, it's really good. It uses some past knowledge and great writing styles to produce something which is really entertaining, but unfortunately is surpassed by what came before it. It's a song that unfortunately demonstrates that a band running out of time need to be doing something more experimental, and especially that's sad to say of a band who really I got into because of the fact they were so experimental, because of the fact that you could press play and not know what was coming next, a crazy heavy metal screaming punk song or something, or a really calm beautiful melody for a ballad that would keep you thinking and feeling something emotional, or a Kentacore song which would deliver something of a kind of unique sound. The problem is that now when I press play, I kind of know what I'm going to get, and that, especially for the alt-idol group to end all idol groups, that's really hard, so that's a tongue twister right there. That's kind of disappointing. So anyway, I don't want to leave this on a sour note. I still believe in this group, I still think they're great, and I still think they got a lot of potential, which is why I'm not giving up on this. I am going to be there for every premiere as it comes out, and I do really believe there is going to be something great between now and they break up, and I really hope that they keep on producing material, but I really hope that they produce material that is in the spirit of experimentation, the spirit of kind of crazy, out there risk-taking that to me makes BiSH. The fact that they became popular, I hope that doesn't tie them to safe attempts to basically bag singles. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think, and until I see you hopefully very soon in Japan for another one of these, I hope more positive review. For now, ciao ciao.